This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation with Hard Grants is brought to you by Alive, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, Grand Bahama News, Marco's Pizza, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and Ron's Electric Motors.
The Foundation.
Community. We don't want no fussing or fighting in our community. Give me that same old peace, love, and harmony. We want some more of the peace, love, and harmony. Give me that peace, love, and harmony. We want the same old peace, love, and harmony.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation. On this absolutely gorgeous Friday afternoon, live and in full effect, we are here in the land of the living. Someone say something to me. You living? You should use your tongue for decency and order. Amen? You didn't cuss 6 people out today. You need to stop it, right? It's a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here on The Foundation. Gorgeous day. I think it's a little overcast today. Hopefully that could just be sort of the cool in the evening, but not necessarily that rain, right? I mean, just give us a dry weekend, right? Give us a little taste of dry weekend as we do these things. Gonna chopping these things down, guys. It is a laid-back Friday, casual Friday to be able to do these things. There is a little bit of formality, right? Just a little taste of formality as we get into this. We are celebrating, I heard Aaron talking about it, we're celebrating and identifying Yom Kippur, right? What are you talking about, Howard? This is a time that is known as the time of the atonement, the day of the atonement. On Monday, they're going to be celebrating these things. But, you know, my church and I, look at me taking liberty, my church and I, has decided to be able to move up to Yom Kippur with a fast. And it's very important in this kind of a time that we live in right now. Oh, how would you getting preachy? Don't fight me. Let me just tell you the thing. So in this time that we're living in right now, and we're going to get into this today. I want to talk like this today. The line's going to be wide open. This dispensation that we're living in, the time right now, this season that we're in, this Jubilee season, some stuff is going to happen. But it's very important that we understand that this flesh that we're in, this is only a physical experience. We're spiritual beings. How do we realign ourselves with some stuff? You need a time alone, a time separate. So you're doing a couple of days of fasting, and in that fasting, I don't know whether or not you guys, you go into church and being able to do those things. If your church is committed to these things, you probably forgot. But, once you have acknowledgement of these things, make sure you do your fasting. And it has to be incorporated with prayer. I want to talk to you like this. I'm going to open up the lines and be able to dive into it today and get into some stuff. So before we do that, let's get our laundry out and do everything that we have to do. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. Look at the papers right there. Hundreds to get promotions. First public service-wide promotion
In 9 years, this is what the minister says, I want to talk like this. I want to talk about this. Because a lot of the time, we as human beings, we believe that it is on our initiative, the perspective that we have, the concept and idea associated with the strategy that's laid out internally. And when we decide to execute it, we believe that the positivity, the glory that's associated and follow this, you believe is as a result of your commitment. But we're in a whole different season, and this had to happen. So I want to talk like this. I want to talk about this today, the 100 to get the promotions right there. P is doing a wonderful job. I just want to put that out there. Also, the government to launch free breakfast program in designated schools next month. I think this is a wild thing. I want to dive deeper into that because it brings up in my mind a time when, you remember when it was giving out the vouchers for kids to go to school? You remember under the former administration, they were giving out vouchers during the pandemic, trying to be able to feed kids. They was giving them vouchers to these big name restaurants. And I just couldn't understand how that worked. I was absolutely baffled. Because if we are not supposed to be on the road, this is during that time, you give us a voucher to go to a restaurant and we ain't got no vehicles. This is crazy. If I need a voucher, that may say I don't have certain other things in my life. But you're giving us vouchers to get to a space where a bus used to carry. It was just, I want to talk about this. We can talk like this today. So, and then Thompson wants answers over the $10 million renovations at the stadium. And the answer is the Chinese doing it. I don't know what else you want people to tell you, right? SPDC said that they're still exploring crowdfunding in wake of Arawak X closure. We got to talk about these things today. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper, dive into that, and see exactly where we are. Minister admits that some language difficulties with Cuban teachers. I find this indifferent. I want to talk about these things. I think it's wrapped in tradition with our expectation and the comfort that we exist in. But I want to talk about this a little taste today to find out how can we grow if we don't push ourselves. That's in the Tribune, but we're going to talk about it today. Guys, make sure you do those things. I want to give a shout out to my good, decent people, good friends over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers, 407 Blue Hill Road South, just east of the Golden Gate Shopping Center. Actually, my good friend, good, decent man, Ethric Bro. And Miss Bo, I don't know if you want me to call you a decent name on air, but I just want you all guys to know that they have a great team down there and emulate really sort of the crux of how relationships work in professional environments. You go down there, check them out, 341-1AFS, 341-1AFS. They'd be more than happy to help you. They're my good, decent people, man. They can do those things, get your car insured, get your stuff taken care of in those areas. Also, somebody texted me, greetings, Harold. Okay, I think that you got the wrong number. So it says, the deadline has been extended for the Plato Alpha essay competition, calling all junior and senior high school students. Brand new iPad awaits you. Enter the Plato Alpha Design essay competition, and all you have to do is write a strong, convincing essay on the topic, what does going digital mean to you? For junior high students, 1,000 words. For senior high students, 1,500 words. Just send an email to alpha@platoalpha.com with your name, school, grade level, and your parents' contact information. It has been extended by all the way to September 30th, so next weekend. September 30th, right? It's just that you're in typical, man, I didn't want to extend that. My child trying to be able to get the thing together. The winners will be announced on Guardian Radio next month, right? So in October, you could be able to hear that next month, right? And again, the deadline has been extended to September 30th at the Plato Alpha Essay Competition powered by Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. So praise God for all of you who've been extended. Lord, please give this little girl the words. Oh God, let it extend, Lord. Give her the words to say so we can get a new iPad. You all need to stop.
It has been extended, right? So, access granted. You can do those things, get those things taken care of, guys. It's a beautiful day. I want you to be a part of the conversation. And I want to talk like this. Because we're celebrating Yom Kippur, we ain't Jewish, we as black people, we do this. Listen to me. We're celebrating and identifying through our faith the time of atonement, the Day of Atonement. And in preparation to move towards this celebration of a Day of Atonement and the preservation of who we are as a people, we're fasting to realign ourselves spiritually to get to where we're supposed to be. And things happening in this season. Y'all don't know it, but things happening in this season. I just don't want to get too preachy with you. But during a time of Jubilee, there's some things that's supposed to happen from a biblical standpoint, from a principle standpoint in life. There's supposed to be liberation, access, freedom. That's the time that we're in right now. And as the PLP comes out to have a conversation about liberty, access, freedom, and the parties that they continue to have, we have to know, if you're spiritual, if you're getting a little spiritual like me, they was the only party who was supposed to be right where they are at this time. Because I don't know whether or not this is their aspirations and their internal strategy, but the fact of the matter is that they are strategically releasing what is supposed to be for the people in this time. Let's read the paper. Read a little piece of the paper. So it goes on to say that Ministry of Labor and Public Service Pierre Glover Road announced yesterday that hundreds of civil servants will be promoted in October. In the total, this exercise represents over $6 million additional dollars in the pockets of the public servants as we advance the first public service-wide promotion exercise over 9 years. This is as Glover Rose said. The weekly office in the Prime Minister, that's the brief they did, says the last one was conducted under the Christie administration. She said that the public service promotion exercise began on July 1st, and the government has already processed hundreds of promotions. These promotions will begin to be rolled out at the beginning of October, the 10th month. Heavy stuff. So 9 is birth. 10th, you can see it. Talk to me. This is just what it is. So it says the process will see hundreds of public servants promoted, many of whom have already been doing the work without receiving the title and without receiving the pay. So I'm hoping that you can give these people retroactive pay. I'm hoping that. If you were going to make these pronouncements and put it in the paper, there should be retroactive pay. And their ears just tingle when I say that. You could feel the spirit on the oh God, you know how long I've been doing this work? Retroactive pay. But it may not happen because they've already allotted $6 million for you. So you can get more than that. That's what you can get. So it says people have waited for years for promotions that they have earned to be processed. Sadly, some people have waited for years, some decades. While we can't give them their years back that they have waited for, we can assure them the wait will be over in terms of them receiving what's due to them. This is heavy. Pia, I don't know whether or not you know you're getting preachy on this thing, because retroactive pay is a serious thing. If there are persons who've been working in these particular capacities, retroactive pay is extremely important. And while I know that the PLP is doing their absolute best to create an environment of jubilation, this kind of a jubilee environment, this ecstatic environment, to know that this organization, this government is doing all they can to be able to assist its people, the fact of the matter is that it's going to have to be a little bit more than this. Don't fight me. We can talk. We talking, we hear, face to face, eye to eye. Don't fight me. Let's go. 323-6232, 325-431-6325, 425-9. Anywhere for the family of Island, 242-300-5720, or hit me up on the text, 422-4796. Let's do this. In decency and order, we can talk. We can chop this down like this. I can tell you an old story. This, I do my thing. Don't fight me. Let me do my thing, and then y'all call. I told you this story before.
My wife works for the government sector. She started so almost 20 years ago when we first got married. I started in the hotel and she started in the government, right? And, I was always ambitious, always looking for an opportunity to kind of get out of here and grow up. When I say get out of here, I mean out of this sort of a space. I don't know. I think it's what that woman said to me at Burns' house. You ain't gonna never be nothing. I think my grandmother went home telling my grandmother that. Grandma said, baby, put it right here on your forehead. Put it on your forehead and carry that with you in life. And I think her words, I love my grandmother. When she said that, it did something to me. So I believe my progression through life has always been sort of fortified by the idea that you ain't gonna never be nothing, right? So in every environment I go in, not that I'm super ambitious, it's just that I am afraid of falling into the rut of contentment and stagnation. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of non-productivity. And so every environment I get in from that time in my life, I've been feverishly looking for an opportunity to grow. Okay. So I get in there and I ask my wife. I get in the hotel. I know what I have to do. There's a clear path. This is a private sector. Once I perform well, they're going to promote me. What about my wife? I'm asking her. I said, baby, do you see any opportunities for you to be able to get promoted in there? She said, the public sector don't work like that. So I said, what do you mean? You working, you're doing this like that. Young now, we young. We are 22. And she says, no. And she gets frustrated with me after maybe about 6 months because I keep asking her. And she said, it doesn't work like that. There's no space for me to move up. I can't supersede anybody. She started using words like supersede. So this was language that came out of the public sector. She said, you can't supersede anybody. You can't do this. This is your number. You have to play the rope. Unless this particular person die or somebody is retired, there is no freeing up. Now, we learned later on that politics has its ways. But I said, well, maybe you start your little birthday club and let people know that you are studious, because she's very good like this, right? So she says, listen, I don't want you to frustrate me with this. And over the years, we had a very clear understanding of what to expect from the public sector. Now, that should not discourage you because, we have to encourage ourselves in the Lord. That shouldn't discourage you from continuing to be able to commit yourself to your job because you don't see a path forward. But it made me think over the years that performance evaluation obviously means nothing in the government sector. That years and years of performance evaluation and what you've been doing doesn't yield you an opportunity to be able to step up. The only time over the course of this 20 years that we've seen significant promotions, outside of what we've seen Pia talk about 9 years ago, the only time is when there's strategic, specific political interference with a desire to be able to retain their vote of confidence, which is literally their vote. And it's very important when you read this story to understand that the minister in public service now speaks to public service wide. That's the length and breadth of the thing. We've seen almost like clockwork, as we move towards political time, those armed forces, those uniformed branches, finding an opportunity, especially the police officers, finding an opportunity to be able to be ascended, to be promoted. They have a little promotion exercise and given opportunities, but it's for political favor, for the most part. It has been with the desire to be able to influence others to give this fella a chance again. You've seen that. You've seen it happen in immigration every so often, and customs every once in a blue moon. But often it happens at the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Now, the only thing that could convince me that this is a new day and this administration is not about being able to perpetuate and amplify what this specific Davis administration is doing, the only thing that could convince me that they mean business for national growth and development is to create a structure, a program, a template,
legislation and otherwise, to ensure that there is a process and opportunity to be able to evaluate, and based on this evaluation, provide an opportunity to move forward. Governments don't recognize that they are stagnating this country. They don't. I don't know whether or not they're concerned about that. Their concern is retention of power. And as a result of this, you're breaking the hopes and dreams of people who are diligent at their work. Now we say, oh, but promotion comes from God and all these things like that. After you then do all kind of strange things for change, and you get it. And everybody trying to figure out how you get it, because you never do nothing that people like. You won't come out now, promotion comes from God. You need to stop it, miss. We can see you. You need to stop it. My point to you is that in this season, oh my God, I just get preachy too quick. In this season, even Pia got promoted. So now that mantle of promotion is on her, she has to extend that to the body. These things don't happen casually. It don't happen because you believe that the PLP is smart, that the PLP is ingenious. It's the season for this to happen. It's an amazing thing. But Pia has to take it another step to solidify herself and her position. That's just not one of the token ministers. For too long, we've been identifying token ministers who've just come in and relentlessly paying homage to leadership, but not being able to show us their worth, their value, whether or not they're true salt of the earth. And Pia has the opportunity. I've said it before, I think she deserves that B+ that we gave her in her ministry. She's done well. Some people say, well, there's still issues with this. These are long-standing issues that existed within the public sector. And Pia came in head first, face on, eye to eye, looking at these issues and dealt with it with grace. She deserves this position that she got. And I think she's going to do well. Now the next pronouncement that comes out of the public service sector with her as the substantive minister is that we've set aside millions of dollars for hundreds of promotions. This is humongous. This is humongous. The only thing for me that could be able to fortify her position is creating the steps necessary, step-by-step concepts and ideas to provide promotion. To identify the qualifications in persons in certain subsectors who've gone off and gotten all these degrees, so forth and so on, and provide them opportunity, even if they have to be seconded to another division, to provide that. To break up the monotony of corruption. Pia, it's just I throwing these out. To break up the monotony of corruption that exists within all government sectors. Even the perceived corruption. And break it up by being able to second, identify, move, shift, and put people in places where they could be productive. And those persons who aren't necessarily as productive, find a way to let's get these people out of the system. There are young people desirous of a job. They have, Pia, the three things that you need. They are teachable, they are trainable, they are coachable. They are eager to do whatever you ask them to do. They're not going to say, well, I's F and M, you got to make sure I get, they ain't none of that. They are eager for a job to show their worth and value. You need to find a way to get them in the system. Because it's exhausting when we go to various sectors within government and we're met with stew, fish, and grits in the lobby. Why ain't it smell like fish, Jesus? Why? Why this woman got a microwave underneath the reception table? Oh, God. Why this woman chewing gum? Oh, God. Why is she on her cell phone and I'm trying to talk to her? Why is she answering the phone, laughing loud and cussing while I call the government office? Why the government office, when I call it, the phone have to ring 974 times before somebody answer it and tell me, hold on, I can transfer you. And you begging them, please don't. Oh, God. Customer service has to be modified within the government sector. Pia, you could do this within your tenure. If no one succeeds, if there should be a legacy left by this New Day administration, because I don't know if you can, you stay in, it don't matter. It don't matter. This is no longer political. This is national growth and development. And if you could make modification, and listen, etch that in stone, that those that come behind you, as the Habakkuk 2 and 2. You got to write the vision, you got to make it plain, that them who come behind you can run with the thing. Fortify this thing. Let's get to proper customer service. Let's do more training. One of the biggest issues is training. These people don't know how to talk to people, for the most part. They think we as friends, they already have this mindset conditioning to be condescending in their tone when they're dealing with the general public. Somebody tell them that's how you got to deal with Negroes. It's bananas. We have to fix this. These are the things that must fix. P, you're doing wonderful. You're my girl. Praise God for you. You're doing absolutely wonderful. In this season of Jubilee, let's solidify, let's concrete cement this progression that you're making with the proper legislation and commitment to the Bahamian people. Guys, the lines are wide open. If you want to have this kind of a conversation with us today, please do so. Give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Quick commercial break. Be right back after this.
Foundation. It's the foundation. Foundation.
Foundation.
Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation.
TCL Thursdays are back and alive! Grab incredible discounts on your favorite TCL devices, like our TCL bundle, a 32-inch smart TV and brand new 40SC at just $329. But wait, there's more! Join us September 21st and 28th for our Facebook Live party, packed with prizes and surprises you won't want to miss. It's TCL Thursdays and Alive, your ticket to unbeatable savings and more. Visit BeAlive.com and check out our social media pages at We Are Alive for more information. Alive, believe in best. Offers good while supplies last.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
The Aedes aegypti mosquito that carries the dengue fever virus needs water to lay eggs and breed. Check tires, buckets, garbage cans, bottles, and even bottle caps, bromeliads, or anything around or inside your home where water can collect. Be sure to cover or turn over containers that have to remain outside. Fight the bite. Check your yard regularly to help protect you and your family from dengue fever. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. The lines are wide open today on this sort of a laid-back Friday. So glad to be in your company, to kind of chopping it down today. Just wanted to kind of put some stuff on the feet. I mean, if we are going to do the thing, let's do it all the way. Let's not just cut up with it, right? Let's not just flirt around with the idea of doing something. Let's do it all the way. And this will be able to, something, every time we talk about immigration, Loftus Roker name will come up. Every single time. What he did in terms of taking a stand, not necessarily making any modification to the system, but being able to stand in what was necessary for what was actually pronounced and laid out in the Constitution, in the Act, what the expectation was. He actually did his job. That's what he did. He did his job. He did his job. And in doing his job, the entire country, generations after, 2 generations, continue to shower him with accolades and always kind of root and holler with a desire to be able to see him return. Because that's what they're familiar with, and he did it well. They want him to come back. Hubert Ingram, same thing. They want him to come back. When you do your job and do it diligently, people will always kind of, the fanfare associated with transparency and really being able to see productivity in these sectors will always call for your return. Always call for your return. It's not about you returning. It's about you leaving a legacy, an imprint on the minds and hearts of people. You're starting off on a good foot. This is a good thing that you're doing. I know your administration got some things that they're doing. This is a wonderful thing that you're doing. And now you need to be able to curb even the idea, the stench of corruption within the public sector. You have to incorporate technology. You have to ensure that there is accountability. You must incorporate technology. Can I say that? Can I say that? I know you're listening to me in immigration right now. I know you're listening to me in PMH. I know you're listening to me in all subsectors of government. You got me in the police car riding around. I can say something. You might like it, but you're going to know it makes sense. It is time to get rid of your log books. Oh my God, that was too hard. This country is the only country in the world that keeping a log book registry company open. They're supposed to be closed years now. You're going towards paperless. You're having this relentless conversations about what needs to happen globally. Our prime minister is running ahead saying everybody, wagging his finger at the entire world about what's happening globally. And you're writing in log books. Bananas to me. Absolutely bananas to me. You get to write in whatever you think the time as you come. Oh God, Howard, shut up. Hold on. You need to stop being late. Oh my God, these marching people. You need to get up and go do what you got to do. Get to the people's job on time. Swipe your card, beep, beep, and that is registered in the system to know that you got to work at 9:57. And it should be reflected in your pay. You all don't like these things, but it's the truth. This is how we're going to rid yourself of corruption and the idea that you think your daddy owned the government. This is how you start, incrementally. We have to stifle even the idea of corruption, and that's going to have to be with the incorporation of technology. The type of technology that can be able to change how things is done in the public sector. P, I know you could do it. It's light work. It ain't nothing to talk about. All this is a swipe. Beep, beep. That's it. Just a swipe. The swipe that identifies your position, your information. We had this thing in the early 2000s in the hotel. If I say, no, man, the swipe is wrong, they pull up the camera. Howard, how the hell the thing could be wrong? And the camera showing me the same time you say, no. What? You need accountability. And you cannot rely on the relationships that exist within these organizations and subsectors to be accountable to each other. If they like you, they will lie for you. If they don't like you, they will lie on you. There has to be a higher standard to hold everyone to account. There needs to be a higher standard to pull up the public sector and how they engage the community. You're doing a wonderful job over the years, but it's time to catch up the pace. That's it. Pia, if you do that, my God, they'll give you a beautiful, beautiful, those bronze statue? Yeah, they can put one in front of public service of you. Don't let the fellows who do it and in Abaco do it for you. My God. They got Hubert Ingram. I look at him, I say, is that you? You forgive me. I only talking foolishness, y'all, but. Oh, what does the Miller say? I say it in jest. Don't fight me. Lines open if you want to have this kind of a conversation. Also, I want to be able to take this here from Ministry of Education. Also, we see that Glenys Hanna Martin is doing wonderful. She always has. She's always been dynamic in all her capacities. But I feel like this is much of placating and acquiescing, genuflecting to the tradition of yesterday, but not necessarily with the sort of teeth that can be able to say modifications for tomorrow. This is not enough for me. To say that you can identify, designate schools to be able to do these, I think it's crazy. And the former minister, Jeffrey Lloyd, and this should have been one of the questions, but anyway, we had a good interview. During the COVID time, and there were kids that didn't have an opportunity to eat. These kids who depended on the breakfast at certain schools and whatnot were then given, you remember this? They were given these vouchers for major restaurants. And the only thing I thought is, if the kids live in Adelaide and they had to catch a bus to go to school at Anatole Rogers, and you're giving them a voucher to get at North or Central on Blue Hill Road, how the hell they can do that? It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. You continue to be able to genuflect to your relationships and empower people who may support you in one way or another. I don't know. But it misses the mark. So when we see these things, I ask myself, how is this going to work? Government to launch free breakfast program in designated schools next month. There needs to be evaluation before execution. And I say that with the greatest degree of respect. There needs to be proper evaluation, just like how you did within your campaigns. The FNM and PLP, there needs to be a campaign done in every one of the schools to identify the kids that aren't eating. You need to understand from a percentage standpoint and understand the demographics in that school. You need to understand that. You need to know that 14%, 15%, 28% of your students are not eating properly. You need to identify those things. And based upon that, then you could create a sustainable program, because throwing lunch at them for 90 days or breakfast at them for 90 days to make your organization look good for an opportunity to be able to have a press release is not good. It's not sustainable. This is not sustainable. There needs to be more work done to change the country. Everything that politicians do doesn't have a foundation, the root of sustainability. It's an idea, The idea is good, let's execute it quickly, but it cannot last. And the reason it can't last is because you didn't think it out, you didn't flesh it out. It was to be able to amplify and kind of prop up your organization, but not really to rectify these issues. Don't fight me now. This ain't me saying don't do it. The children still need something to eat. But unless and until you can identify the root cause of why these children aren't eating, you're throwing money into a bucket with a hole. We now have to get back into those homes, understand how social services is dealing with those particular families. Is the mother or the father, is the mother and father in there? Is the mother employed? Where they live and so forth? This is what you do. This is how we fix our community. And technology can assist us. Technology that can be able to weave together the gaps. No one speaks about the gaps. Everyone, we get 475,000 iPads. Everyone gets an iPad. You pull an Oprah. You get an iPad. You get an iPad. Everybody got an iPad. iPads, everybody. Excited about the thing. Then you take your iPad home and what? You ain't got no Wi-Fi. You ain't even got no power to charge that thing. Gaps in the system. Your organization looks like Santa Claus came early because everyone gets this thing, this iPad. But they don't even know how to function the thing. Organizations don't do enough. Political organizations in this country consumed with the idea of retaining power and not with the idea of national growth and development. That is why you will never win again. I don't care if you're the FNM or the PLP. The cycle is your concern is not about the people. You say it's for the people. Some people are the recipients of whatever you release, but there is no sustainability. There's none. And the social psyche and mindset associated with these things says, well, I guess I could get a little job for 5 years and then hold on for another 5. This is bananas. This is unsustainable. This is absolutely unsustainable. For 5 years, you on the job holding your breath. And if somebody called an early election, you mad at them because you needed 6 more months of money. This was the 6 months you were supposed to save that could last me until 2 years from now. That is the rhythm our society has been in. We have to fix that. How do we fix these particular gaps, these holes that exist in these particular spaces? We got a caller? Guys, you know the number, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Call on the line before we get out of here. Go ahead.
Howard, how you doing?
Hi, good, baby. How you doing?
Man, I can hear you talk all day. You are making so much sense today.
Praise God.
Yeah, I don't mind nobody interrupting you.
Praise God.
You are sounding really good on this radio, you know.
Thank you very much.
I add a second to it.
Go ahead.
What's happening in this country, Howard, like you said, it's not touching the small man. Okay? It's like, for some reason, we think we're doing so well until we started to face the real situation of what's facing people today. You know, I went in the food store. Howard, sometimes, I don't know what happened, where you just go and say, and pick up a couple items, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at that register, you hold your head up. You can't believe it. $100 and something, Howard. Do you understand this?
For 7 items. For 7 items in your basket.
Yes,
you got the basket. You ain't even got the trolley. $100.
You didn't hear me. You come couple items. And you look at the total. And then I said to myself, this happened to me yesterday. I said, why in the hell? If I'm a woman working, you know what I mean? I don't have no small kids. How is these people with children surviving? Huh? And don't tell me but no social service, food stamp or whatever they get. Because how much is that so? Huh? To see it, you know? This grocery thing is just out of whack, man. We need to get to the point where we start to hear the cry of hurting people. Yesterday I spoke about the hospital. Nowadays it's about the food store. You can't have a government in power if they can't get down and see what's affecting persons today. You hear me?
Wow.
We have serious problems, you know?
I'm telling you, I like this.
They gotta hear the cry, how it's what you talking today. I want you to continue and to continue and to continue, because for one person was listening, it was me. You were taking 14 cents, okay?
I appreciate your phone call.
Okay, out.
Because you're in Lido. I've been to budget because I live out west. So I don't always want to go to Golden Gate or always want to go out to JFK to shop. When you pick up a little 1-2 things, I go to budget right around the corner, Coral Harbor. So I got on a budget the other night. My wife, she said, get some juice. What I get? I get juice. She asked me I had to get one grease because I had no grease for my hair. So I get one juice, I get one grease. I forget, and I didn't have no shampoo, right? So I said, okay, let me get juice, grease, shampoo, and the things she'd get. The woman says to me, $61. So I look at her. I say, what? I say, what? She said, $61. So I say, I look at the basket. This one is juice. I get a couple can of blueberry juice, $1 each, right? I get a couple biscuits for the children. I look at this, and it's $61. I said, baby, I think we come wrong. We take everything out the basket and count each one piece by piece. I said, don't fight me now. As a black man, when I spend my money, I want to make sure I spend it right. Don't get mad at me. So we counted piece by piece. $61. I had less than 10 items in the basket. It is bananas. I start to think. I say, I get Western oil at home. Should I put that in my hair? It's too much. Let's take this commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
It's Whopper Wednesday every Wednesday at Burger King Nassau. Make your Wednesday sizzle and sink your teeth into a flame-grilled beef patty topped with tomatoes, fresh-cut lettuce, mayo, pickles, ketchup, and sliced onions, all on a toasted sesame seed bun with fries for only $5.95, including VAT. This Whopper Wednesday, grab a friend and head down to your favorite BK Nassau location for a flame-grilled Whopper made your way with crisp fries for only $5.95. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bs.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. 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 The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this absolutely gorgeous Friday. Somebody just sent me a little text, a quick little video. When I came in here, it wasn't raining, right? Howard, it's been raining for the past 25 minutes. I need a boat to get to my house. She showed me the video. It is bananas. This is just crazy. This is crazy. And I hear something snap in my ears just now. I don't know whether or not that's power. My God. Y'all need to stop it. Let's do these things. I want to take this time out to be able to give a shout out to my people over at BTC. Should I do this? It's going to either be this or a cuss, right? I have the fiber in my place, and I tell them I was going to be decent. But I think there was an accident on my corner maybe a week ago, and my fiber's been down. So they wasn't being able to help me. So I made some calls. I just try to be decent going through the front door, because I know your people go, oh, just because he be on the radio and he think he can. I don't go through that. So I go through the front door, right? I knock to the front door and then I ask, as decent people, I come from my grandmother. My grandmother teach me, don't never walk in nobody's house unless they invite you. So I knock and I stand at the front door waiting for you to let me in. I did that for maybe about 5 days. And then I had to make a telephone call to some very good, decent people. And I want to be able to shout them out. They are very good. They were rapid in being able to provide me an opportunity to be able to get some things rectified, right? So they say it's going to be a little bit wait for them to kind of fix the fiber optics and do everything that they're doing. And so I said, no problem. And they gave me a little box for that. So I want to shout out BTC for them being able to provide some level of customer service and alleviation, because I know my hotspot on my phone is bananas. All my children will do, listen to me. They feel like cavemen right now, itching, scratching. They don't know what to do. They ain't get the devices and whatnot. So they get a little, this Yom Kippur for them. They can fast on this one. They ain't using these things. So I just want to be able to shout them out. And I want to be able to talk about Natalie Martinborough. I think a lot of us just heard yesterday that she passed away. ZNS put something out. Our News put something out about, veteran journalist passing away. I spoke to my mother this morning, and she said, oh my God, I didn't know. She's in Grand Bahama, right? So she said she didn't know. But she passed away. I don't know how. I don't know what the issue was. Mommy says, oh, I didn't know that she was sick. I don't know. But she passed away. And it just gives you that kind of sobriety. I don't know, for some people, it has caused them to dive deeper into themselves. Oh, I better stop doing this. You know what I don't understand? I want to say this, and this is a little off topic, but as it relates to death. I don't understand the desire to preserve your flesh, your body, to keep your body healthy, to keep your flesh healthy, and you ain't got no purpose. Honest to God, I am absolutely confused that you doing your best to live longer. My wife see this picture, on a Netflix thing. She like to watch all these food stuff. This is weird to me. All day she thinks she is chef from the cousin chef. She feel like crunch time in the kitchen. She's be wilding out. So you need to calm down, miss. Okay. So she watching this show on Netflix, 100 years old by what you eat. These people live to be 100 years old based upon what they eat. And all of them never leave this place. This don't even make no sense to me. This is it me? I'm confused about this. What you living to be 104, you ain't get nowhere. You ain't get nowhere. You ain't travel nowhere. You ain't do nothing. The same people for 100 years you seeing, you ain't do nothing. You ain't expand your village. You ain't growing up nothing. You ain't writing no books to show people how to be able to live to 100 years. Nothing. You keeping all this information. These people had to come through the bush. The white people had to come find you in the bush They had to send drones after you to figure out, oh, there's a society there? Find out and bring that on Netflix for us to watch. For me to look at the television and say things like, well, what these people live in the 100 for? That's just me. This experience is not for the perpetuation of life, of our physical flesh. We still have to impart. You are 100 years old and don't want to talk to people. You're doing your best to eat right. Oh my God, you need melons and cantaloupe. These things have antioxidants in it. It's great. Oh, this is all the rave. You need to eat proper yogurt. All these things, and you still got bad mind. You indecent. What are we doing this for? It's time for us to understand that there's purpose beyond preservation, the preservation of your physical life. That you've been called here for something greater, and you have to participate in community. You're indecent. Only you people just make me sick too. I still mature in that sometimes. I say, y'all make me sick. But that don't stop me from loving them. Don't stop me from taking care of them. I'm telling you the truth. We have to talk like this. We are here beyond trying to, and this ain't me saying, let's not exercise, let's not stop smoking. That's not me saying that. I'm saying to you, if you're doing all these things, there has to be an added effect of purpose behind it. Let's find our purpose. Sometimes the purpose may be individual, to be able to help community. Sometimes that purpose is being able to be that link to pull community together. You have to find that and make these things happen. Guys, the lines are open if you want to be able to do that. I want to say a shout out to the family of Natalie Martinborough. We continue to be able to carry you in our hearts for what she's been able to be for the country. Her level of professionalism and consistency, being such a bright light on television over those years. Her name being a household name. We just pray for you and your family at this time as you're going through your time of bereavement. Let me take the telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead. Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, I think those folks are living as long because they don't check like that.
They don't check?
No.
They ain't got no buildings, no nothing. They ain't got no stress.
Yeah. Hey, now, that's the kind of life that we strive after.
They out here eating fruits and vegetables straight out the ground, rolling up dope, smoking it. They just ain't got nothing to do. They can live till 2000.
Hey, Grammy used to be smoking on her pipe until she was 99. You know?
Hey, you need to stop it. Grammy had pipe too. You need to.
Okay, Grammy had pipe too. Okay, and and Grammy them live long, and they try their best to stay out of Nassau.
My God.
See, hey.
My God. So Nassau is killing us.
Hey. You have
doing too much.
Okay. I know people, right?
Okay.
Who have acres on the Five Islands.
Yeah.
They come in Nassau, they sleep on the floor.
My God.
See, it all comes down to what you think is important to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have a kind of subjective view as to what these folks are doing, but it don't impact their object. Okay? I spent the weekend with my father in the faith, and homeboy is 91 now. His name is Reach 100.
Really?
And that's just the way it is. Okay? Now, I believe the area is called the Blue Zone. Yeah?
Yeah.
And in those blue zones, there's one thing in common. The people ain't checking for what's going on in the outside world, especially in terms of what is stress out guys like you.
Yeah, these things have stressed me out. And I appreciate your call, man. You're a good, decent man. Thank you so much for your contribution and call. I can be honest with you. I was one of those people. I got about 4 acres in Grand Bahama right now, sitting down waiting on me. 4 acres. No, I may have more. We bought a piece of property on Sergeant Major Road in the new division. My wife and I, we bought a piece of property. Right? Really gifted /board.
And then on the property in 8 Mile Rock, the generational property, I cleared down about 3.5 acres. I cleared it down to build my house, but I was indifferent. And things were so rocky in Grand Bahama in the 2000s. Like after we skipped past 2002, 2003, things became a little bit shaky. We still was trying to rebound from what happened with 9/11. And then we didn't know it, but we were moving like at a significant pace towards, at an inevitable pace now, in hindsight, we can say that, towards the bubble bursting in the United States of America. So then we, just like how we catch the cold if America sneezes, we were the recipients of that sort of a fallout in those areas also, especially tourism. Tourism took a significant hit for that, right? So I still had the property there. I promise you, I get all this property right there in my orders. The whole family, I tell you, the grants, we got the whole of Hannah Hill is grants. If you know Grand Bahama, the whole of Hannah Hill is grants, right? So I got property sitting there, but ain't no money in Grand Bahama. What I can do with that property? What am I supposed to do with that? Ain't nothing happening there. I'm supposed to keep my family here and transit between Nassau and Free. No, man, you gotta work. You gotta work, and that's the issue. I long for the government that incentivizes youth to go back home. But they can't incentivize nothing. They only want to be able to keep themselves and retain this position of power. That's it. They're not incentivizing us for anything. Let's be very clear about this. Let's say hypothetically they do this. There's a couple of things we could work at the same time, and y'all gonna fight me, but we can talk. Hypothetically, if a government decides that let's incentivize its people. There are governments that are doing this right now. I think Norway. I can't remember, but I'm going to figure it out. If they say let's say we identify an island. Let's take Grand Bahama just for the conversation. For us to be able to get people back to Grand Bahama, the population is 20-some thousand people. At its peak, Grand Bahama was teetering around 60,000 people. That means that there's been a significant exodus of more than half the population that existed in Grand Bahama. Okay? It's teetering around 20-some thousand. I think when I saw it last, it was 26,000. Okay? But I know at Grand Bahama's heyday, it was 60,000. Now, the fact of the matter is that Grand Bahama could hold 1-some million people easy. I mean easy in terms of retaining and providing and so forth. But over the next 10 years, 150,000 people could move to Grand Bahama. How can you do that? Incentivize them. We can give you a piece of property in Grand Bahama, forge relationships, modify the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement, whatever you have to do, and forge relationships within the city, the center of the city and out the outskirts of the city to give young people an opportunity to buy a piece of property. But then they say, oh my God, we don't have no money. That's no problem. The government's here for you. If you move to Grand Bahama, we give each family, see that? See what I did there? Family, $45,000. And for every child you have, we give you an additional $5,000. So what you do simultaneously, you depopulize Nassau, you provide an opportunity to be able to see an increase and a sustained increase for next generation of children in Grand Bahama with $55,000. That's chump change. That's chump change. And young people will run to that. What size the property is? 200 by 200. That's light work. They would run to that. You ain't got to, we're creating an over-the-hill zone. We're going to create a space for young people. This don't even make sense to me. Yeah, we're going to give you an opportunity to be able to get a house here in Nassau on a service lot. I never even know what a service lot is. Isn't that the place where they put the little thing from BTC? Y'all widening out. Telephone call on the line. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, I'm here.
A pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Howard.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Sparky?
Right here. I mean, I wish you'd do me a favor sometime. You realize that when people are on the cellular waiting on you, you really stretch us a little long, but that's your show. You do what you got to do. But I just wanted to make a comment, Howard. You know, the other day when some stalker always following me up after I talk to you and come on with his comment, but He don't say who he name or he don't show who he face is, and nobody know him. But he could stalk me and then always comment on what I say and what I do. I don't know if he's in love with me, he's gay or what, but I don't know. But there's something to be so. But you know, Howard, I've been talking about this property thing, right? Now, Howard, looked like everything was going to be on the go as of yesterday. They called me, even the new Minister of State, Jobo Campbell, called me and said, Sparky, we're ready for you to go down there.
Jomo's a substantive minister, in a Minister of State. He's a substantive minister. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, whatever the point is, he got some clout. But him and my people from agriculture called me and said, okay, they got it down there. They got the main road entrance there. You could go down there for the day. I said, no, we're going down 2 days later. I said, okay, we made great men down there yesterday. Come to find out, they stopped the tractor now. After they left there, they stopped the tractor right in the middle of the road.
You called too early. You called yesterday. You didn't give them all the confetti.
I didn't give them all the confetti going down the side of the farm.
You called too. They say, all right, Sparky did his job, and they cut it off.
But guess what, Howard? Howard, guess what?
Go ahead.
My boy, who gone down there with the tractor, he had one special little skeleton key. He going up on the tractor and move the tractor, put the tractor on the side.
You see that? You see that? Leslie Militant tell you. Leslie Militant tell you, you have to deny. It's plausible deniability. Leslie, did y'all push the tractor? I don't know anything about that.
But look here. Let me Howard, before he tell me I got 30 seconds, let me tell my story, man, please.
Go ahead, because she really didn't break.
You know that stalker, he can call right behind me and talk something. Sparky always told me this farm now. Now I thank everybody and I blow them up and say, okay, Sparky, ready to stop. My tractor to go in. Guess where they stopped the road? Right to number 63. It's number 61 and 62 is the two properties off the road. Tractor stopped there. Park in the middle of the road and gone again. So now my boy moved the tractor, put on the road. Now we looking for our stakes, which is 63 and 64. We found my stakes. We paid them. I sent out all the videos and everything. Now guess what? The reason they stopped the tractor in the road, there's some Haitian houses down there, right in the middle side of the road. We're supposed to go far west, right to Fire Trail West. And they now stop the work because they're waiting for permission to move some Haitian illegal homes in the farmland area that belong to agriculture. 3 big Haitian houses that one even got solar on it.
Wow.
You hear me?
Talk about
Haitian house down in the back there, illegal on government land, got a solar on it.
My God.
Got coconut trees, banana trees, and all kind of things. Haitian got houses on government property, farmland.
You should have been checking your property for years. You talk about the property and you ain't ever gone on it.
We couldn't get to it. Remember, I keep telling you we couldn't get to it. We just got the
Somebody
deeds.
get to it.
We just got Howard. All I had in my hand was the deeds signed at the Ministry of showing me the lot numbers and everything for everybody, lots and everything.
My God.
But to get to the land, you couldn't get to it. Now we getting to it.
My
we
God.
got Haitian houses down in the back there. They're waiting for permission to move the illegal houses. Why do we have the big permission to move illegal houses when I got a legal document telling me to go on my land?
Sparky, that ain't how this working. You know that. You've been here longer than me. You've been here longer than me.
I can't even get to my property.
You've been here longer than me. You push them people house down without going through the proper procedures. You can have problems internationally.
You say the people houses on our land, the behemoths can't grow. If I try to build a doghouse in Pride State, I got to get a permit from the Ministry of Way.
My God.
If I try to build anything other than my house in Pride State, I got to get a permit from Ministry of Way. How the Haitian could one of the pictures I show you is a 2-story Haitian building. It's gone up 2 stories.
It's a 2-story Haitian building?
It's a 2-story Haitian building.
That sound good. These people are here architects.
I sent the video out. I sent the pictures out yesterday in the WhatsApp.
All right, I can look at it. I got to let you go. I got to take this commercial break, Sparky. But you intrigue. This is intriguing. A 2-story Haitian building. That's what you say. Haitian building with solar and bananas. And talk about sustainability. This might be a model that we got to look at. Sparky, sometimes we got to be able to execute these things accordingly. For years, you've been calling us and telling us about your house, your property would need this, would need that. You finally get it. And now you're up the creek again. I know. Now we got to call Jomo then, but You got to let these things take its course. Because Fred Smith, he listening to you right now. Let's take a commercial break and be right back after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
At Marco's Pizza, we never skip on quality or ingredients. Save some cash and satisfy your cravings with our new carry-out medium 2-topping pizza for only $12.50. That's right, order 2 of your favorite toppings like sausage and green peppers on 1 medium pizza for only $12.50. VAT inclusive on our app or online. Made daily with fresh dough, our signature sauce, and fresh cheese. Only at Marco's Pizza. Restrictions apply.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my bed, so I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company. Somebody just texted me saying, Howard, what is a Haitian house? I don't know. Listen to me. How am I supposed to know these things? You think I know everything? I don't know. I don't know. Is it wrapped in the flags in the flag? I don't know. I do not know. But Sparky though, I'm not gonna fight him, right? The nine's open, guys. If you want to be able to if you want to give us a call, please give us a call. And the night's open. We're just talking like this today. I just want to talk about national growth and development and a sustained position to find true growth for its people. Because for far too long, we have been seeing press releases and government's posture, position. And what we said the other day, someone called me and said, how would I like what you said? I said perpetual pontification in perpetuity. That means it's all they doing is gum busting. That's what their mouth was designed for. That's all they've been doing. Historically, all we've heard from governments is just words, and we've seen little action thereof. If you want to change people, we need to increase the population in Grand Bahama. I make a joke the other day when I was talking to the kids over to the Legacy Trade Fair, the Legacy College Fair, right? College tour that they were having over with Erica Morris. I make a joke talking to the kids. I said, you know, a lot of people are concerned about climate change and whether or not the water is rising. I said the water is rising in Nassau, but it's not as a result of climate change. It's as a result of weight. Everybody moving from every island on Nassau, it's sinking, right? It is sinking. That's where we are now. There needs to be an opportunity for young people. We could listen to me. Listen to me. Let's talk now. It's you and I. We could fix this country. I know where your mind is. Who tell you we can't do this? We can fix this country together. It's going to take a little blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to take a little elbow grease. It's going to take a little bit of push.
But once we get over that proverbial hill, my God, it's smooth sailing. It's going to be smooth sailing after that. We can do this. Get these people out, incentivize young people. Take it in courses. Phase 1. Give them a trade, some technology, something. Give them something that can feed them. Teach them how to do something that can never leave them. So you amplify the concept of what's coming out of BTVI. You do some things. You forge relationships with persons like Erica Morris to identify schools in the United States, spaces in the United States to be able to send these kids to. Send them over there. There's schools right now. Right now. I said my son, go find out something about Snow University. We were here about Snow University all the way in Utah. Right? Snow University was starting to talk about, hey, you can come here to the school, you can get the experience. We live in a small community, it's only 5,000 people, come here, do all these things, and it's only like $19,000 a year. And then we give you X amount of dollars off. And the government gives you, I said, what? Well, you know, the nigga dar going off in my head, bing, 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 free, 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 free. I said, what? I said, sir, you're going to have to go to Utah. You might have to go to Utah, baby, right? Be talking to my son. You got to figure out how to get these kids out and to experience what's happening in the world. But bring those experiences back home. You got to encourage them to do that. And in doing that, I believe that the government could be able to change things. But you have to be serious about this. It can't be a political agenda. Political agendas only to be able to design to prop up politics for 5 years. This thing got nothing to do with national growth and development. Get people out of Nassau into the Family Islands. People need to move back to Abaco. People need to move to Eleuthera, to Exuma. People need to develop these islands. Because in 10 years, we're going to be hooting, hollering, and screaming about how many Venezuelans there, how many Haitians are there, how many persons from Puerto Rico are there, people from all over the world, because this is still the Bahamas, baby. And if you all ain't want it, somebody want it. Let's take a telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Mr. Grant.
Hey, what's happening, brother?
Everything cool, man?
Yeah, man, I live in. Giving God.
Boy, that deal, what you say about sending those families back to Grand Bahama, giving them that property and give them $5,000 a child, you'll be $20,000 up front.
Right off the
Start
top.
off it.
Right off the top.
You good.
Right off the top.
I know somebody will beat you bad. I know one who got but 9 and the oldest one but 9.
Really?
But no, I'm not exaggerating a little bit. But the oldest one in 18 yet. But listen to me. I hear you said something would prank me to call you. When you said about Fred Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You ever hear Fred Smith going up against a real lawyer like a Vivian Monroe, Alfred Sayers, or Damien Gomez or something like that? Or Fish McKenzie that?
Well,
you ever hear him battle one of them in court?
No, but I'm not familiar with any of that. No.
Okay, Fred Fred Smith them just go, the government, the F&M government put these little junior lawyers up against him who he could run circle around. Why you don't match up with Vivian Monroe one-on-one in one case, or Alfred Sayers or Damien Gomez then, them cases?
That'll be a hot one.
Yeah, I'll go to court just to watch that. That's what I want to see. People be talking about Fred Smith. Fred Smith don't go after no real lawyers, man.
Yeah, but it ain't really what he go after. It's what he get when he reach.
Yeah,
he gonna win the case.
The F&M government was sending to him. I hope that was in a conspiracy to work together.
My God.
That's how I feel, but I mean, Vivian Monroe.
I know the conspiracy.
That's why they couldn't have Vivian Monroe go up against him.
How you set that up? I know the conspiracy was coming. I know it was coming. You structured it.
You have a good weekend, man.
I
Take
appreciate
care of
you.
that beautiful family and give that lady some corn salad this weekend.
My God, you see, you talk too much. I was trying to see if I could skip one weekend.
No, go. Yeah, man. She deserves it.
All right.
Yes, sir. Have a good day, man.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so very kindly. No, I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's just an idea that we talk about, but hopefully it's one of those ideas that pushes the potential idea, that pushes potential in your mind and rolls into this kind of kinetic energy that you could be able to strengthen it with your idea, right? And we could take the foundation of what I said or, this idea and keep rolling it into something that actually has tangibility, social tangibility. I think that's important.
None of this is making sense. If anybody is thinking, critical thinking is essential in this world today. The governments of the Bahamas, pluralized governments, are relentlessly looking for an idea to jump back into the way that things were. They held off even after the pandemic was settled. They held off just to retain this sort of position to say, okay, we got them where we want them. It could give us perceived productivity. We're doing well. The only ministry that can be able to tout about any decrease, which equates to an increase socially, was the Department of National Security. Let's use it like that. National Security under former Minister Marvin Dames would be able to come out and talk about how crime has significantly decreased in the country during the time of the lockdown. That was the crowning glory for the Free National Movement. During the time of lockdown, that crime saw a significant decrease. Sir, we in our house. We in our house. You mean to tell me as soon as people start walking up and down, y'all don't know what to do no more? This is bananas. This is crazy that you're not thinking of ways to be able to actually do your job. This is for all and sundry governments. The only thing you want to do is find that little small slither, that crack to jump back into tradition. All right, we could survive here until it passes, until the technology, let the technology wave pass. We'll come out when it's done. To get back to what you used to. You're not willing to learn. You're not willing to expand. You're not willing to experiment. Try. You got to try. Next caller.
Hey, what's up, brother?
All is well. This is Dwitty.
Yeah. I got your voice note. Next week, Friday is the end of the month. I will be to do something on behalf of me and my little crew, my little family.
But I want to tell people use a
All right,
natural
so make sure you call me, God's willing. Thursday to give me a heads up.
He's a decent man.
What I really need to call you about.
Hold on to it. You ain't gonna slide over this. I's a decent man. I want to tell everybody who's a PLP you ain't getting back to me when you're supposed to.
Yeah, it's a PLP.
You know that. You tell me they don't call. So you're doing the same thing what you tell me the people don't do. Talk to me, do it. I can't get away with it.
What am I doing?
You gotta give me a call. You made a commitment to say you can help the thing. Let's help the thing. Maybe I should be able to put
God willing on what happened. I would have really liked to do it this week, but I maxed myself out.
I ain't gonna fight you.
So next week, God's willing, I can see my way clear. But what I really call you for this morning is, Howard, I am sick and tired of these people in this place called New Providence, in these constituencies calling me and complaining about small things like potholes, roads, lights. And I think that what I've been told that's automatic. That's supposed to be a part of infrastructure. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The member of parliament for the constituency of South Beach. 2 weeks ago, Howard, Sunday, I watched a lady broke her wheel going in a hole. I tried to reach the gentleman, the Ministry of Works, fruitless. I sent voice notes, fruitless. Now I'm asking you to bear with me for a second. The Honorable Barkus Roll, the Member of Parliament for South Beach. The people are now, they were asking you to fix the road, but that now they are begging. And I'm begging on their behalf. Please, sir, you work to the Ministry of Works. You don't have no excuse. Howard, let me give you an example. When Mr. Sayers was there, good man. You know, it's one of the first things Mr. Sayers did for Fort Charlotte? Fix the roads. You could ride in certain parts of Fort Charlotte, Howard. Hypothetically, you could almost eat off the ground. That's how good the roads are. So why is it if you're the junior minister of Works, why can't you go and authorize for the roads to be fixed? Why, Howard? Why do people have to call me Howard? I'm just a simple person. I'm a business person. I'm no senator. I ain't no MP. I ain't no cabinet minister. But these people calling me. And these people don't understand when you stand up and you speak for them to be elected, the people ain't going to call them, they can call you. So, Mr. Roll, with the greatest respect to you, if you decide not to do it, I can complain. And trust me, Y'all in the PIP, y'all don't like when DeWitt complain because DeWitt is taken to a different level. Have a good day, Howard.
I appreciate you, DeWitt. Thank you so very kindly. DeWitt says, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody. DeWitt, you need to stop. You need to stop, right? So let me take this telephone call first, and then we're going to take a commercial break, right? Would you put the junior minister on the table, DeWitt? We got to break this down when we come back. Next telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I don't know, but we got the phone some kind of low, but yeah, I called because well, at least DeWitt could define for me what is a good man, because I really don't know, because I can't really swear for nobody unless I know everything about them. And then I would, that's like when you go to court about, a case, and then they find out what's going on, and then they say you're guilty or innocent, right? But we see how that works with the case with the rich lady out west the other day, right?
Yes.
I don't need to call her name.
No.
But I'm calling concerning the land occupation and the illegal shanty towns, like a gentleman Sparky calling, somebody's talking about it. It was kind of a humorous to hear Haitian house, because I guess the person of Haitian written on it. But the problem is the imbecility of all the governments, past and present. And then, I know you're being kind of humorous and laughing at it, right? And then you said that because our islands are sparsely populated, we'll be saying in the next decades or whatever, the Venezuelan and this one and that one is here. But what really counts is citizenship. The development of an island, an occupation, is one thing. Granting out citizenship flippantly for political gain is a matter of national concern, and also the overwhelming of a population. So we would do our research now. I'm going to look into, all right, let's look at a small island state. We could go to the Seychelles, the Maldives, all of the other chain of islands, right? Hawaii, and look at how migration affects them. And so what you're trying to tell me now, because we are a weak, pathetic nation, small nation, everyone should just come here and settle in our land and do what they have to do. We see the Asian demographic. You saw the lady with the WhatsApp thing the other day with the Asian lady selling her products downtown, and nobody's bothering her. So, this doesn't concern you, Mr. Grant?
Yeah, it does.
All right. So what I'm saying, what about, you see, I'm not concerned about Fred Fred Smith, because he's not smarter than anybody else. It's just so far you want to go down into the discipline, the abyss of any discipline, to enlighten yourself. Because I'm not So what I'm saying is, the human rights, he's fighting a one-way paradigm. The illegal occupation of land. And what Sparky said is a very serious thing. But I had mentioned that a couple of months ago about that whole southwestern region and the occupation of those lands and government property. The government is, I guess the PM is, I don't know, he has to be of Haitian descent and all the rest of them, because what happens is what you're seeing now is these remarks by the Haitian community and all of the different situations, everybody's advocating for these people, and you're talking about human rights. This has nothing to do with human rights, Howard. This has something to do with enforcing our laws. But because the third world leaders are weak and pathetic, probably besides me and Martley and one or two others, this is what we get. So, this is sickening for me. You know what I'm saying, Howard, you have young children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I read it.
And you spoke about the properties and all the generational properties on Outer Island and the lack of monetization of these properties. However, through these new land reforms, I don't know nothing, but I just saying that's common sense. Okay, these people are into enriching, and maybe this is for a reason. But who can't see this as a matter of national security? Then they're not existing, because you can't tell me that this is how the country should be headed. That I should be concerned about all demographics coming here, and of course they would be given citizenship, Mr. Grant. And then we're looking at the effects on the education system, the healthcare system, overall effects of migration. Why are you granting these people citizenship? So people are actually selling these citizenship. That's what you're trying to tell me. You can't see this is about exploiting cheap labor. This has nothing to do with them loving anybody. They're replacing people and let's say with the teachers them. I know what they pay teachers in Cuba. I know what they pay professors in Cuba. So right now, those teachers over here, they're in dreamland. And 2 to 1 chances the government send them, and they probably have to send a stipend back. So this is what it is. People know what they pay the teachers in Cuba. So this is all about economics. It's not about really and truly helping the BAME students, because what they'll do is, if they was into helping the mamas, they will hire more qualified teachers and pay them what they deserve. But people really don't get what's going on. And as far as the outer islands being sparsely populated, this is a counterintuitive narrative. In we're talking about carbon credits and carbon neutrality. So the greener we are, the more money we should be making on the carbon neutrality concept and carbon credits. So which is it, Howard? This is total BS, Howard. Howard, if I was to enlighten the public, people really don't have no idea what's going on. They're too busy sitting in their offices doing what they're doing. But this global agenda is so multifaceted, and people actually believe in sustainable development goals. They actually believe in this. They they actually believe that people want to get rid of poverty. You really believe that, Howard? Bless up, man.
I appreciate the telephone call. Something stood out to me that I don't know whether or not this is just the accusation and based upon the indifference that exists because we're seeing our prime minister take on a different approach and trying to rectify an issue externally. To say that the prime minister is of Haitian descent, he must be of Haitian descent. My question is, what is our posture and position when we see former prime minister take on the same position? Right? When he wanted to be able to go and provide jobs and opportunities for Haitians and them doing bananas and so forth and so on. Or when he started to stand up and cry for Dominica, as opposed to being able to cry for the people that are broken here in the country. Let's talk like this, guys. Quick commercial break. Be right back after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. Buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Want to reach your Grand Bahama customers? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Nassau Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get out of here, we got a couple of texts and whatnot. I see a telephone caller on the line. If you want to be able to give us a call, you know the numbers. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks so much for holding.
My pleasure. The gentleman that was on the call before you went to commercial break.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he's very informed, very enlightened. And what happened is the government don't want to solve none of the issues we're complaining about. We have to do it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to wake up because a lot of people, you know, they complacent about everything because everything is handed down. The individual is very enlightened, very informed. And what I would say, I don't mind him getting in touch with me. I would really like to speak with him one-on-one, so I'd like to leave my number, because what we have to do is come together collectively if we want to make a change and enlighten people and wake up the persons who want to be awakened, because not everybody want to be awakened and know what's happening with all the paradigm shifts and all the dynamics that's happening within our country.
I agree with you.
But a mother like me with 3 sons and a single mother, all my childbearing life, I am about making a change for my children. And what I'm seeing here, I'm in 100% agreement with the young man that had called in prior to the commercial.
Mm-hmm. So what you can do is hold on right here. Let me see if I can get my producer to take your number, and then I'll pass it over to him. Okay?
Appreciate that a lot.
Thank you so kindly. All right.
Have a great day and keep teaching one another.
Thank you so much. You do the same.
Blessings.
Okay. So the producer's going to take a line. The guys, the lines are wide open. I think this is the crux of the matter. Because we could do this till, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. We could do this forever. It's easy. Just you observe it. You could sit down here and I'm looking at the color blue right now. We sit down and talk about all shades of blue and the shadows that exist within the blue. But if I have an issue with it, I got to get up and paint. I got to get up and paint. I got to make some strategic steps towards rectifying some of the indifference that exists in our society. The uncomfortable posture and position that continues to be able to, cause the next generation to grovel on their knees. It's just what it is. I told you all this before. My grandmother has this mindset, And I can't fight her. This is the age that she's coming from. She said, baby, sometimes you got to kiss and then you can kick it. So she said, kiss behind. But she didn't say that because this is my tobacco smoking, decent, beautiful grandmother. I love her. So she's telling me like it is. And I said to her, as I grew, she said it. But when I got to a point in position after I've been looking for a job and keep trying to look for a way out of this hole, because people find themselves in contentment. You don't call it poverty no more. They call it comfort. So after I've been looking for a way out of this hole, and she would come back, but baby, you just got to be patient. Just kiss it until you can kick it. As though you have to take what people shovel at you until you can do better. But I keep looking around in my environment and nobody doing better unless they thieving from somebody. I live right here with y'all. And unless you thieving from somebody, whether that's the coffers of the government, whether your political proximity has afforded you an opportunity to access certain things, whether this is an idea that this is just how it goes, the rhythm of what exists in our society, you are thieving. And most of us got to work hard for this. And so I said to her, Grammy, our lips are protruding with veins that run through it like Snickers, pulsating after relentless kissing. And our feet are webbed. We have done no kicking yet. That's just what it is. We keep kissing behind and don't use our strength to kick it. You believe you kicking behind when we're voting this government out. I'm not going to vote for the PRP anymore. That don't make a difference. Both the PRP and the FNM's agenda is to prop up their political organization, their constitutional posture, position, and the people that exist in their organizations. This ain't got nothing to do with you and I, unless you are part directly of that agenda. You're not going to be a benefactor from these particular things. You're not going to benefit in your way. You think you do, but you don't. Even with the program today. And Glennis, I love you. And Mommy love you. She say, hey, praise God. But I got to say this. Even with this program of a free lunch or free breakfast for the kids, this is unsustainable. Kids need food. Parents ain't working. You can't do this for 6 months and then as the 30% that Rupert Roberts is talking about, the increase of food in there, and you giving them a stipend, whatever, to be able to cook these particular food. In 6 months, this is unsustainable. In 6 months, this is absolutely unsustainable. Absolutely unsustainable. And so when they pull back from the program, you can't find anyone to take that slot. But you prop up you coming in 2026, we're going to hear you. My organization started the free breakfast program for the kids and those in impoverished areas. They only was able to eat for a little 2 seconds. This cannot be to make your organization look well. We have to find sustainability, growth, and development for the Bahamian people, for citizens of this country. We have to do that. And when you confine your progression, your social progression, and you filter that through the needle, the eye hole, the pinhole of your political organization, listen, man, you're wilding out. Let's take a telephone call before we get out of here. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Howard, how are you doing? It's Alan Johnson.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah, I just want to touch on what 52 touched on also with this immigration issue. The problem is that we've been giving away citizenship like candy. In fact, we've been funding the citizenship by allowing people to stay in the Bahamas way beyond their needed date, or even for the fact they're needed. Like you go and look at the number of farming. We have enough farming license, whatever, and other those things to have probably about 6,000 farms in the Bahamas. Mm-hmm. But we don't have any. And then so what you do is you say they've been here 10 years, you can make application. But we have no immigration policy that actually limits the number of citizenship from any particular area or any country for during any particular time. And a strategy to look for more so a skill set that is needed coming from those countries to build the economy of scale that is needed for the Bahamas. And again, I use this all the time. We like to talk about Singapore, Norway, Dubai, and the rest of them. They have sensible policy where, like for Norway, Singapore, an example, 6 million people, 2 million citizens, 4 million foreigners. They go to sleep. They're not worried about being overtaken, overrun, because they have legislation and policies to deal with their immigration that protects their sovereignty. And so as you talk about what is needed and what is being done, the habits that we have developed over the years, I would challenge you, Howard and others, and I say 2026 is not going to be the same. The demographics of the Bahamas has finally reached a point that there's more millennials than Gen Z. The problem is no one has engaged them for their input into the Bahamas. They would like to see that we have these archaic dinosaur-type mindset that wants to continuously build on the past. And over the next 3 years, I do believe that they're going to become more actively involved because of people like me and my wife and others that is aware of the change that's needed and the absolute need of 23 years today and maybe 25 or 26 years into the 21st century. Nothing is being talked in the language to show the competence for implementation. And I say to you, because this government seems to be entrenched in its position, the Free National Movement in 2025 26 will most likely be the person that will be bringing those in.
I appreciate you so much, man, C. Allen. I know, I felt like it was coming. I was waiting for you to say Michael Pintard more specifically, but I'm not going to fight you. We can talk about that further. I want to read this text. It came through my Facebook. She said she couldn't send it anything. A pleasant good afternoon, Howard. I've been trying to send this text via Nassau Guardian text line, but it won't go through, so please forgive me. I thought that my best option would be this. Okay, no problem. Concerning the public service and its recent promotion exercise, I'm a recent public service retiree who have been diligently served this country for 40 years, and I've only been promoted twice. The last was in 1990. Up to my retirement, I have worked with distinction, going above and beyond on the call of duty, especially working overtime, knowing that I'm not paid for it. During my employment, I obtained 3 degrees, an associate, a bachelor's, and a master's. I decided not to pursue any further studies because no matter no matter what degrees and numerous public service courses and other related studies I pursued, no promotion was given, yet I worked tirelessly. I still await my gratuity. I do hope and pray that I'm one of those lucky public servants in this promotion. With my long-time service and degrees, I should be promoted to the top rank post my retirement. I am looking forward to retroactive payment. I am therefore looking forward to receiving every single cent owed to me. I am uncertain whether Ms. Pia Glover is aware of my case. Only God knows. That's been the nature of the public service. Pia's making some things happen. I don't know. She heard your story just now. We can see these things happen. Guys, have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy yourself. I don't know if you're fasting for Yom Kippur to get this thing done. If you are, do so with sobriety and understanding. It should be accompanied with charity. Give something. Love is something that you give it away. Have a beautiful weekend, guys. Enjoy yourselves. We're going to see you on Monday, Godspeed, right here. We're going to have a great conversation about cancer and cancer survivors on Monday. See you guys on Monday, guys. Have a beautiful weekend.
Foundation.